She was called a penny pincher. She wrote down every cent in an old notebook. He laughed, mocked, spent without thinking. No one understood why she was so controlling, but what she did years later changed everything. Stay until the end to find out how the woman everyone doubted bought the house of her dreams. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and turn on the notification bell. That way you won to miss any inspiring stories like this, and you will help more people who want to transform their financial lives reach this place. Every click makes a difference in spreading these lessons of discipline and success. Let's go together on this journey toward prosperity. While he spent without thinking, she was called a penny pincher. In front of friends, he mocked her. Why save so much money? Live for today. She listened to everything in silence, without letting herself be shaken. But inside her grew a determination. Society didn't help. Careful women with money were targets of jokes and prejudice. It seemed that saving was synonymous with stinginess, not wisdom. She wrote everything down in a simple notebook, controlled every cent, packed meals to avoid spending too much, and avoided debt at all costs. While he bought unnecessary things, she studied finances alone, quietly at night, when the house was already still. In her mind, that was the best way to ensure a secure future for the family. But no one believed her, not even him. She was seen only as the woman who didn't know how to enjoy life. Little did they know that within that strict control was the seed of change that would surprise everyone. She endured the storm silently, preparing the ground for the turnaround that was to come. And the most amazing part? Years later, it was precisely this penny-pinching woman who bought the house of her dreams, outright. She didn't do anything extraordinary. She just took care of every detail, day after day. She packed lunch instead of spending on restaurants, bought only the basics, avoided unnecessary sales, wrote down every expense in her little notebook, keeping control to stay within budget, small sacrifices that seemed insignificant to those who spent without thinking. But it was this sum of details that over time built a solid financial reserve. While he got into debt with impulsive purchases, she quietly saved money in her pocket. The secret? Discipline, patience, and consistency. This is the real power of small daily savings. Time makes money grow, even when starting with little. And in the end, it was this sum of little that paid for the house of her dreams outright. She knew that just saving wasn't enough. That's why, in her spare time, she sought to learn more. Books, videos, articles, everything about money, investments, debt, and planning. She did this quietly, away from criticism and laughter. While he spent without care, she prepared for the future. It was a lonely journey, but full of determination. Every page read, every video watched, helped her build a solid plan. She understood that knowledge was her secret weapon to turn things around. This quiet financial education transformed not only her finances but also her confidence. And it was with this wisdom that years later she surprised everyone by buying the house of her dreams outright. He bought on impulse a new car, clothes, gadgets he didn't need. He lived on the edge of his credit card without thinking about tomorrow. Meanwhile, she planned every expense carefully. She knew exactly what she could afford and what she needed to avoid. The clash between their two styles was obvious. The marriage began to feel the weight of these different choices. He was in debt. She was trying to hold things together, but she didn't give up. With patience, she started taking control of the household finances. That's when the turnaround began. When discipline beats impulse, the future changes. And she proved it by turning the crisis into opportunity. The marriage faced storms. He lost the car. The debts grew. And the house felt like a drifting boat. It was at that moment she decided to act. Quietly, she took the reins of the finances. She organized bills, negotiated debts, cut unnecessary expenses. With calm and discipline, she did what seemed impossible, restored the family's financial balance. While he still doubted, she was already paving the way for a solid future. Step by step, month by month, she built a savings reserve that no one imagined existed, until finally, the dream of owning a home became reality, and she bought it outright. A silent victory that silenced everyone who once laughed at her. She carried the weight of prejudice for years. They called her stingy, controlling, annoying. Even her own husband underestimated her strength and financial intelligence. But she never let others' opinions define her worth. Every sneer was fuel for her determination. Through actions, not words, she showed that saving is not weakness, it's power. She broke the myth that women don't understand money. She became the protagonist of her own story of success and prosperity. And in the end, it was precisely this underestimated woman who achieved what many thought impossible. Nothing happened overnight. Her victory was built with patience, day by day. Every saving, every conscious choice seemed small, almost insignificant. But time is a great ally when you have consistency. She showed that discipline is not sacrifice, but an investment in your own future. It's not about making money fast, but about staying focused even when results seem far away. It was this silent persistence that made the money grow and finally pay for the house of her dreams. True wealth lies in staying the course, even when no one believes. For a long time, the role of women in financial life was underestimated. But she is living proof that women are the protagonists of prosperity. With wisdom, courage, and discipline, they transform entire families. It's not just about saving, it's about leading, planning, and securing a better future. She showed that women can, indeed, manage finances and build dreams, and that this silent strength is one of the greatest forces to change lives. When women take control, prosperity becomes reality. This story teaches us much more than just saving money. It shows that discipline and patience are powerful weapons, and that underestimating someone based on simple habits is a serious mistake. True power lies in the consistency of small actions. And anyone, regardless of who they are, can transform their financial life with focus and determination. She reminds us that success is not luck. It is the result of conscious choices and perseverance. That prosperity is born from daily action and control over one's own destiny. And above all, that we should never doubt the silent strength of those who save with purpose. This story leaves us a valuable lesson. True financial transformation comes from discipline, patience, and the strength of those who are not shaken by criticism. Remember, the path to prosperity is made up of daily choices, small actions that, when added up, change lives. If you enjoyed this story and want more content that inspires and helps you on your financial journey, subscribe to the channel right now. Leave your like, activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, and share this video with someone who is also seeking financial freedom or wants to learn to manage their money better. Comment below which part of the story inspired you the most. Your participation is very important for our community to grow even more. Together, let's move forward toward prosperity.